So from there, I've been just trying to help to remind you about linear inequalities, which is the first order inequality. So let's go to second order inequality. Second order inequality, it gives us quadratic inequality. So second order inequality, it is where we have ax squared plus bx plus c greater than 0, greater or equal to 0, less than 0, less or equal to 0. So here we have the same equations. So now, how can you solve that inequality of degree 2? What we do, it's the same, they have the same procedure. We just let ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0 in order to get the roots of x, to get the roots of that equation. So here we can get x1, we can get x1 and x2. So after getting x1 and x2, the next step what we do, we start the sign. We study the sign. So as we start the sign, we have x from negative infinity to positive infinity. So we have two values of x from the smallest to the biggest. So here we have our equation, ax squared plus bx plus c. So what we do, when you put this one there, because it is its root, it will give us 0, even that one will give us 0. So here it is sign of a. You put there sign of a, where a is the coefficient of x squared. Even here we put there sign of a. So here we put there opposite sign of a. So where a is coefficient of x squared. So now what we're going to see examples how we can solve what? Quadratic inequalities. So let us see examples. We have example number 1a. Solve x squared minus 5x minus 14. What we do, the first step, we let x squared minus 5x minus 14 to be equal to 0. So let us use factorization. Two numbers we can multiply to get negative 14. We add to get negative 5. That's negative 2. That is negative 7 and 2. So to be x squared minus 7x plus 2x minus 14. So now the answer is we take 7 out, x out of the bracket. The remaining is x minus 7 plus 2 out of the bracket, x minus 7 equal to 0. You see x minus 7 is common. That is x minus 7, then x plus 2 equal to 0. Mean that x minus 7 is 0 or x plus 2 is 0. So which means that x will be equal to 7 or x will be equal to negative 2. So after getting the values of x, we're going to study the sign. As we study the sign, that is x from negative infinity, negative 2, 7, then positive infinity. So our equation is x squared minus 5x minus 14. It will be minus 14. So so those are the values, the roots of that equation. When we bring a negative 2 here, immediately we'll get 0. And then you bring 7, immediately we'll get what? 0. So now, here it is the sign of a, and a is the coefficient of x squared. You see we have 1, it is positive. Here it will be positive, and even there it is positive. Then here it is opposite, which is negative. Or you can use any value, even if you can use negative 3. If you use negative 3 here, you get a positive. If, like a number between negative 2 and 7, we have 0. Put there 0 here. You get negative 14, which is negative. So now we have greater. Greater means positive. So our set x will be a member where you have positive here and there. So the solution, the values of x that can give us a positive solution are from negative infinity to negative 2. And you have only a greater, meaning that negative 2 and 7 will be excluded. So it will be from negative infinity excluded to negative 2 excluded, union from 7 excluded to positive infinity. So that is the answer. I hope you don't have any question from there. So if there is no any question, let us go to B. So what is B? B is saying, well, we need to solve 2x squared plus 3x less or equal to 27. So that is, it is like 2x squared. It is like 2x squared plus 3x minus 27 less or equal to 0. So the first step, what we do, we let 2x squared plus 3x minus 27 to be equal to 0. So that we can solve that equation. Our A is 2, our B equal to 3, our C equal to negative 27. Let us use quadratic formula. And the quadratic formula says x equal to negative b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac. Then divide by 2a. That is our quadratic formula. So now that is x equal to 3, negative 3 because it is positive there, plus or minus b squared, that is 9, minus 4ac. So minus 4, our a is 2, our c is negative 27. Divide by 2 times 2, which is 4. So our x will be negative 3 plus or minus square root of. So we're going to see, let me use calculator to get this number, which is under square root. So it will be equal, we have 8 times 27, 8 times 27, then plus 9. So it will be 225 divided by 4. And I think the square root of that one is, it is 15. So which means that our x is negative 3 plus or minus 15 divided by 4. When we add, we have 12 divided by 4, the answer is 3. We get negative 18 divided by 4, the answer is negative 9 over 2. So we have two values of x, negative 9 over 2 and 3. After getting those two values of x, the next step is to start a sign. We have x from negative infinity to positive infinity. So we have negative 9, we're starting from the smallest value to a bigger value. So we have, our equation is 2x squared plus 3x minus 27. So when you bring negative 9 over 2, because it's the root of that equation, to be 0 here, and everything will be 0 there. So our coefficient of x squared is positive, so here it will be positive, and there it will be positive. So then here it is the opposite sign of the coefficient of x squared. Since it is positive, here it will be negative. So now we have less. Our inequality is less or equal to 0. So meaning that x is a member. So less you see where we have a negative, it is there. The value of x that are giving us a negative solutions are negative 9 over 2 and from negative 9 over 2 to 3. So, but they will be included because we have less or equal. It's from negative 9 over 2 to positive 3. So I hope you don't have any question from there. So let us go to see how we can find the number of roots. The next step, the next is to see how we can get number of roots. Roots of a quadratic equation. Number of roots of a quadratic equations. So we're going to see how we can get the number of roots of quadratic equations. Remember, a quadratic equation is of the form ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. When you want to solve that quadratic equation, you can use the quadratic formula, where x is negative b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. But to get solution, we consider the value of discriminant. We have three cases. For case 1, we have three cases where case 1, it is delta when b squared as delta minus 4ac is greater than 0. When it is greater than 0, we have the nature of the root. This is discriminant, which is delta. Let me say this is our delta. And the nature of the roots. Nature of roots. So now, when b squared minus 4ac is greater than 0, we have two different roots. Two different real roots. Two different real roots, or two distinct roots. And when b squared minus 4ac is equal to 0, we have what we call double roots. We have repeated roots, or double, or the same roots. Those are the words terms that we can use. Repeated roots, double roots, or the same roots. So now, if our b squared minus 4ac is less than 0, here we say no real roots. No real roots. That's what you say. So, okay. So there you can see examples. Let us see examples so that can help you to understand. Example number 1 is saying, we have solve A. We have x squared plus 2x minus 8 equal to 0. So here, we're going to solve that equation. You see our product is negative 8. Our sum is 2. So that means that it will be positive 4 and negative 2. So it is x squared positive 4x minus 2x minus 8 equal to 0. So it will be x plus 4 minus 2x plus 4 equal to 0. So you see the x plus 4 is common, that's x plus 4. Then x minus 2 equal to 0. So x plus 4 is equal to 0, or x minus 2 is equal to 0. So x will be negative 4, or x will be 2. So you see here we have two distinct roots. We have two distinct roots, which is two different roots. So why? It is because I've used factorization, but if we use delta, our b squared minus 4ac, it means that it's greater than 0. If you check our b squared, it will be 4, because a is 1, b equal to 2, c equal to negative 8. So let us see. It will be 2 squared, that's 4, minus 4a. A is 1, c is negative 8. As you can see, this is 4 plus 32, which is 36. And you see 36 is greater than 0. So since delta is greater than 0, that's why we have what? Two distinct roots. So that was A. B. If you go to B, it is saying x squared plus 6x plus 9 equal to 0. So now here, let us see our A is 1, our B is 6, our C equal to 9. So now, let's solve. The question is solving. But we are solving when after considering, or after knowing which number of roots that do we have. So now here, our b squared minus 4ac equal to 6 squared minus 4 into bracket a is 1, then 9. So this is 36 minus 36 equal to 0. Since that equal to 0, we are going to get double roots. We are going to get double roots or repeated roots. Or repeated what? Roots. We are going to get double roots or repeated roots. So meaning that if you go ahead, two numbers you can add to get 6, multiply to get 9, that's 3. It will be x squared plus 3x plus 9 equal to 0. It will be x out of the bracket, x plus 3 x plus 3 equal to 0. It will be x plus 3 into bracket x plus 3 equal to 0. You see x plus 3 is 0 or x plus 3 is 0. So mean that x1 is the same as x2 equal to negative 3. You see we have what we call repeated roots. Repeated roots. So if you go to C, it is saying x squared plus 2x plus 6 equal to 0. So our A is 1, our B equal to 2, our C equal to 6. So delta, which is b squared minus 4ac equal to, that is 4 minus 4 into bracket 6. This is 6. So this is 4 minus 24. The answer is negative 20. So since our delta is less than 0, no real roots, we say that since delta b squared minus 4ac is less than 0, therefore, no real roots. No real roots. Because square root of a negative number does not exist in a set of real number. Square root of a negative number does not exist in a set of real number. So let us go to see the shape of the graph with those three cases.